Well, split with Alaska Anchorage last weekend, 9-1 on Friday, 3-1 on Saturday. And Friday, just couldn't be here to see it for myself, but just looking over the numbers and reading the recap, felt like a domination in all facets of the game. In the face-off circle, on the power play, and obviously on the scoreboard. What was really working for the Cats on Friday?
Actually, I thought it was a little bit of an interesting game. We were kind of sleepy to start. It was 1-0 after the first, and the second period we get that 5-minute major. And we went bang, bang, bang. All of a sudden it went 4-0, and then from that point, I think both teams kind of knew what was going to happen, and I think just a little bit of attrition on their side, and we were probably felt a little better. So we got to that point. You know what I mean? Like we got by the end of the game, it was like, okay, I thought we had a really good finish. And was hoping for that to build into Saturday. And, I think probably just for me, the things that are frustrating is that you want to get a bar. Here's the bar for what we are every day, no matter who we're playing. And this was the message on Saturday. The bar's here. So we're never lowering the bar. If somebody can do that and beat us, good. But I don't necessarily know that in the games that we have not won, that we haven't just lowered our own bar. So, that's where I guess a little bit of my frustration is that some are self-inflicted wounds.
Feels like the team isn't playing up to its potential, you would say then?
I don't like using those words. I don't necessarily. I will say this: if you look at the stats are facts. All the numbers tell you we're top 10 in the country in scoring, top 10 in the power play, top 25 in the penalty kill, which I think has been better than that. Like just had some bad luck. Number 4 in the country in faceoffs. Benny Halaz has a 1.95 and a 935. Those are elite numbers. Now, he's played 5 games, but those are elite goaltender numbers. We give up too many shots, but I think it's because we take too many penalties. We're like top 10 in the country in penalties against. So all that stuff's being said, like the areas we need to improve is probably the defensive side, which has been a mantra for us, but it's improved drastically. Like penalty kills 25. Last year it was last. Goals against is 3. It'd be nice to get that below that number. But my thing is like this. When you score 3 goals, you should win a game. It's hard to score. We've scored 4 goals twice and ended up on the wrong side of it. And then conversely on Saturday, we only gave up 2, but we couldn't get to 3. And we're a team that averages 3.8 goals a game. So there's just, right now, we're not finding ways to win. And that's, something that, I think it needs to be, addressed in a couple. Fitness, I think, needs to be addressed. I think maybe some buy-in and some accountability. But none of those things take ability. Nothing to do with talent. Things that need talent, pretty good at. The areas that we need to improve, those are just personal choices.
Right. So one thing you said there that stood out to me, Coach, was feels like we're taking too many penalties. And Saturday's game in particular was a mess in the penalty column on the stat sheet. 16, and that's not counting a too many men penalty in the second. 9 of which came in the third period, including a major on AJ with just 4 seconds left. That feels like a lot. Was there some tension on the ice that boiled over, some bad blood between these teams at all, anything like that, or just old-fashioned hockey?
I mean, it is a lot. You're right. It is a lot. Part of it, I think, is self-discipline. There's an area of that. Part of it, I think, is fitness. I think we get tired. And when you get tired, your courage goes, and it's hard to defend when you don't have any legs. fatigue makes cowards out of all of us. It's the old line.
Certainly wasn't for lack of at least just straight up shots. You guys obviously very familiar with the guy in between the pipes.
Yep.
In the second one there, 31 saves for Nolan. What was it about the looks you guys were getting? Outshot him 17-8 in the first 20 minutes, but just didn't have the looks that you wanted.
We had the looks. We had some major looks. Just didn't have the execution at the end of it. You know, couple guys in particular had some really, like, those are looks that you dream of, and one guy in particular had 3 of them in the same game. You know, and you got to score. It's just the bottom line, especially as an offensive player. You know, like you identify. It's like this. Like you're a receiver in football. You can't drop a ball in the end zone. I'm sorry. It hits your hands, you got to catch it. Or anywhere in the field. You get a look in the slot like that, got to score. Like, what you're getting paid to do. So, you know, now there's going to be games where you don't, and guys drop balls in the end zone, and you lose. And, you know, but you want to limit those.
So then coming up this weekend, home series with the other Alaska team, Alaska Fairbanks. Your thoughts on those matchups, Coach?
I think they will be a much, much tougher opponent than we played this weekend. You know, to be honest, I think that they do a lot of things really well. I think they're heavy. You know, the standard here's the best way to say it. Standard in our league for the last 4 or 5 years has been Mankato. Now it's an exhibition game, and I understand that, but it's still a hockey game. Nebraska Omaha beat Mankato 8-2. Last weekend, Fairbanks beat Omaha. You know, like that's the best way to. It's a very good team. They're disciplined. They're heavy. They play hard. They're well coached. So we're gonna have our hands full.